Right, today is Wednesday, December 2nd, 2020. This is the Kubernetes CSI implementation meeting. We'll go through our usual agenda, which is going down each of our releases statuses. So starting with 119, we mostly just have some docs changes that are still pending. I need to make an update to update all of the sidecar versions in our docs. And then I think there are some open items for the 119 features, the generic ephemeral volumes and storage capacity that still need to be done. Other than that, Xing, do you know of any other docs that are still pending?
I think that's it for 19, right? Yeah, 19. For 20, we have more, but 19,
Okay.
that's
Sounds good.
I think
All right.
there's one doc PR that Kathic is working on. Just it's not merged yet because I have been reviewing that one. So it's a snapshot related. I can add it here as well.
Okay, sounds good. All right, and then last thing with our releases, I think the one last thing that's remaining is the image building for CSI proxy. Jing, have you had a chance to look at this yet?
Yeah, I pinged that person again, but no response. I think I need to find another person to
Yeah.
help on this. Yeah.
Maybe try Aaron.
Erin.
Yeah, Spiff XP.
Okay, maybe later you can send me the ID.
Sounds good. Yeah, he's one of the SIG testing leads, and he was helping a lot with a lot of this image building stuff.
Okay, sure.
All right, awesome, thank you. All right, that's it for 119 stuff. Moving on to 120. Let's see, we have a couple PRs open. First is this read-only flag in provisioning. This is if you are, for example, provisioning a PV from a data source that has data in it, and you want that PV to be provisioned as read-only. Hamont has a PR out, or Humble has a PR out for this. I made a couple comments. I just pinged him to see if he has time to take a look at this before we do the next sidecar releases. So I'll see if he is free. I think Patrick is also working on the deployment, deployment without central controller for a local volume provisioning. He's not here, but I think he's still he's doing a bunch of scalability experiments with 2 different approaches. I'm not quite sure if it's going to make this next set of releases, but I think that's okay. We'll have to follow up with him later. Next up is switching over all our sidecars to Klog v2. I think there was some progress made on this. I fixed the NFS driver, and that has merged. I think we're still pending. We're still waiting on a change in external provisioner and also the Windows-related repos. Jing, do you have an update on these? You said someone was going to help with this.
Right. The Microsoft menu kind of agreed to take a look. So,
all right, sounds good.
If you have a example from other repo, we can just.
You can just take a look at all of these here. There's a bunch of PRs that are linked here. So you can just
Okay.
like for the sidecar or something, look at like external attacher and look at the PRs that went there. For the driver, you can look at the NFS one and see what was done for NFS.
Okay.
Sounds good. All right. Karthik also agreed to look at external resizer. And then Xing, you have a snapshotter on your plate.
Yeah, I think I
And
just need to update the, I think the UTOs thing. I need to get that one. So I just need, I need to take a look and see how that's done for other sidecars. And
yeah, sounds good. And actually, so Cheng from my team is also gonna go through and make changes in a bunch of these sidecars. I think he was gonna like do some things with arguments, so he might get to it before you, but we'll see.
okay, yeah, I already have a PR out. It's just
Oh,
I
okay.
don't have the. I'm just waiting for the UTOs. Basically, that's the one that is missing.
I see. Okay, sounds
Yeah.
good. All right, and then I think Christian has a PR out pending for iSCSI.
Yes, the Kubernetes rebase from 114 to 119 was merged yesterday, and then there's an open PR to change from glog to klog v2 inside the iSCSI driver.
Awesome. Great, I can help take a look at that. And so that should be all of our repos covered. All right, next we have snapshots.
Yeah, so there are two PR got merged this morning. The Shantian's use driver name in PV and also the rotation, certification rotation for webhook, those two are merged. So right now, I think there are two main PRs outstanding that we want to get in. One is the metrics grant. Can you take a look? He has a, I think you have a comment there, and he was saying that whether he could submit a follow-up PR for that one, so that this PR is a.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So and see if you have anything else. So let's see if we can get this one merged this week. And
sounds good.
Yeah. Do you have other? I don't know what. I don't know if you have other comments that he hasn't addressed. It looks. I think he addressed your comments. This is just this one. He said will be. He'd like to do a follow-up.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Yeah. Can you take a look of his comments just and then
Okay.
say whether you are okay with it or not, and then we can see.
Sounds good.
I'll check with Xianqi and see what we're going to do. I don't know if there are anything else that we need to address in this PR, or we are almost ready, I hope. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds good to me.
So next one, can you take a look of the next one? Update controller based on snapshot v1 APIs. This one should be straightforward. It's already, I think you already look at the one that I have everything together. Just to use the v1 APIs basically. Update
Okay.
using v1 APIs.
Sounds good.
The only thing
right.
is for the webhook, I have both. For webhook,
Yeah.
both v1 beta and v1. Everything else just
that
v1 now. Yeah. So
that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. So take a look at that. So I think those are the main two PRs that we need to get merged before we can have the release. The rest of them
Okay.
I started working on that one. Yeah. So rest of them will be like after we'll merge.
Sounds good. Yeah. Awesome. Great work. All right. Okay. So I think we're looking in pretty decent shape to maybe start to release sidecars next week along with the Kubernetes release. It doesn't look like we have like any major things that are really pending.
So one question though, I was thinking, so right now, right, this API right now it's like V3. I don't know if we want to go to V4, but maybe a little weird because we still have V1 beta 1. There's really no changing with beta 1. We'll go to V4 is a little weird. But if we have both, that would be weird too.
We would go, if we go to V4, we would go to V4 if, say,
API change, right? Normally, I think
a major breaking change.
Right.
So
can we count this one as like non? If they want to use V1, then they have to. That's of course they need to change it. But if they still use it when beta 1, then it's fine. That's not breaking.
I guess so I think maybe one thing is, say, the controller is going to be using V1, so that's going to require the V1 API to be installed in the cluster, right? So if you can't upgrade,
right?
You can't upgrade to this controller unless you also add the V1 APIs.
Well, when they install it, both are installed anyway. If they use the new release, right? So both are. Oh, you're saying they may choose only to like install one, not both. We do have both. Okay, so
maybe that would be worth a V4 then.
But the one problem with V4 is like, what do we do with the V1 beta 1? We keep both.
We keep it. Yeah. And then when we go to V5, we will actually remove V1 beta 1.
Yeah, that may be a problem if we have them separate, I think. Because the release, the entry one that we checked in, already have this both, basically. It has both CRDs. It actually,
which is fine.
Right, but that's from the V3. So it's a little weird. Now we have this. If we have like one stay at a V3, and then we have a new one at a V4.
Are you, I guess, concerned that the E2E cluster is deploying skewed versions of the CRD and controller?
That might be a problem, right? Because in tree we updated that to use that's the V3. Everything is on V3, right?
Yeah, which is fine, right?
But then that's out of sync, right? So if we release this way, then we will need to update that one again later.
Yes, we will always have this.
Thinking it's confusing. Like if we have both, so that
like we have this chicken and egg problem, right?
But
we can't.
Yeah, but it will be a problem for the CRDs, I think, because the CRDs right now, no, they're in one file. The CRDs are in one file. So I don't know if that makes sense to be them still in one file. If one is V3, one is V4. The manifest, I'm talking about the schema, right?
Are you talking about the Kubernetes E2E?
I'm just talking about the CRD itself, right? So when we install, we have that manifest thing. That manifest is just one file that has both V1 and V1 beta 1 in that one file. So I don't know,
that seems fine.
Have them together if we have one is V3, maybe that's okay. Is that not
sorry, I'm not sure I understand. Like what's the problem with having both V1 beta?
So like you will have like one. When you get client, basically meaning you have one, it's like V3, the other one is V4, right? So beta 1 stays at, so basically, so in the V4 direction, we don't even have the beta 1. Are you saying we still keep that?
No, we still keep it.
Oh, okay. Then we will keep it, then maybe that's okay. But then what do we do?
The only reason why I would say we should do a V4 is because people cannot upgrade the controller without also upgrading the CRDs.
Yeah. So are you saying we keep V3 folder? We have both folder? I have never seen like that. So usually just only have one.
I guess I'm still not really seeing the
so if you go to client,
problem.
if you go to client, right? So this will be basically mapped to a V3. We can't have both, right? So we don't have a like absolute path, but the package, the Go package actually has the path. So if we want to have both, to keep both, then we actually need to have like add an absolute directory. Then I think that will break things, I think.
No, I think it's fine to just rename it to V4.
You're saying don't keep V3. That's what you mean? You think that should
Yeah.
be fine?
Yeah.
Then
Because if they go to a if they go to a 3.x tag, it'll be there.
Right. So if they want to use this, then they have to go to before. Yeah. Yeah, but that's the case, then probably it's fine. Yeah, then I was just thinking if we have both, then that will be a problem. Okay. If we just have them just one folder, then that's okay. Both V3,
Yeah.
both beta and V1 in the same folder, then that should be less problematic. I don't know if that's part, but I think that is less. You need to keep both, and that's a bigger problem, I think, that all the folders are changed. Okay, yeah, so I can, yeah,
Yep.
I could do that, yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Anything else with snapshots?
I think those are the two main things. And there was a new bug that opened. I just had a quick fix. I will need to ask Shang-Chen to take a look. It's a simple fix, but may have some consequences. So I'll ask him to take a look and see if that makes sense at all.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sounds
but other
good to
than
me.
that, the two big ones are, those two are the matrix one and then controller change. But now we also need to update the API path as well. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Those are the three. Yeah, I think those are the three things. If we get those done, we can cut the release, I think.
Awesome.
Grant still has some more work. I think he's supposed to submit like follow-up PR for the metrics, but I think those can be done like after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Because we talked about like it's like a two-phase for the metrics thing, right? So for this the second phase, I think will take a little bit more time. So.
All right.
Fine, right? So we cut this.
Yeah, it should be fine.
Continue to okay, all right.
Awesome. All right, and so I also went ahead and cleaned up all the backlog items that we had, and I created a new 1.21 board and put them all there. I think the only other thing left to look at to do around this time frame is to archive the Flex and Fiber Channel driver repositories. That's something I signed up to do many months ago and still haven't done, but I should actually do it. I think that's it for 1.20. Like I mentioned, I created a new 1.21 board. If there's anything that you're working on that you want to add here, you can go ahead and do that. I think I think maybe next week after or maybe in like 1 or 2 weeks after we do all the sidecar releases, then we can start actually going down and doing 1.21 planning. All right, so that's all our current releases. Are there any other topics that anyone wants to bring up?
So I look at that the non-graceful shutdown thing. I added some comments there. I think the CAP author says he's going to schedule some meetings to go over that. I look at the graceful shutdown one. I don't think that addresses our problem at all. They just basically added some timeouts so that it can wait longer, and also they added some sequencing so that the critical ports are shut down later than the regular ones. But there's nothing about like volume attachment at all. So there's no special handling for those at all. So I don't think that will address our problem.
Okay, maybe worth, I don't know, revisiting or something. I feel like at least like
that's already in revisiting which one? The graceful
yeah.
Already,
I mean,
that's already merged.
I know it's already merged, but I think we should revisit it and see if we need to do anything to address the volumes issue with that.
So I think that the issue that you opened, the external attacher, so I assigned that to myself. So that one actually basically assumes that the Oh, that's a little different. It's like node is deleted, right? Then maybe a little different. So what they are saying is like shut down. Yeah. So I think normally, well, actually, I did a shutdown myself. I tested that. It's not really graceful, but of course, I don't have their changes yet. So I'm testing earlier release. So maybe when the new release is out, I could try that and see if there's any difference, but does not seem to be. It's just like waiting a little bit longer. So I don't think the cleanup will happen even with that change.
I guess for the graceful shutdown case, does that assume that you're doing a drain first?
No, it doesn't talk about drain, just talking about if you just Kubernetes just detects that you're trying to do like a shutdown command. They're actually talking about how to detect that, the specific command or signal to shut down a node. Didn't talk about the drain. Yeah, if you do a drain, of course, right? So, but it didn't talk about drain. I can go look at it again. I don't remember seeing it talk about the drain. It's just talking about they detected this signal, which meaning shut down the node, and then they will do all of this. They add something to make sure the timeout is there's you can add some extra timeout there that's being used, and then there was a sequencing thing saying it. That's all I can see.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, I think definitely this is worth a meeting to discuss. So I think it would be good to send out an invite to the SIG. I think this is a very hot topic that a lot of people are interested in.
Yeah, I think the person who's working on this other PR, he's actually scheduling something. So
awesome.
Michelle, I've got a question.
Yeah.
People have been bugging me. They want to know, with the holidays coming, how is that going to affect the sidecar releases for 120, given that 120 is soon and the sidecars would normally be released shortly after, but that's going to be like in the middle of the holidays.
I mean, I think so. I think most of the sidecars are looking in pretty good shape. I think the only change that we're really, besides putting snapshots aside, the only for the other sidecars, I think we're mostly just waiting on this Klog v2 update, and I think that we should be able to complete that this week, which means that I think next week we should be ready to release the sidecars.
So probably after next week, people will start take vacations, right? Is that it's already in the middle of the December?
I don't know. Everyone is different. I just, people were wondering, like, will it happen before the holidays, or is it going to push things into the new year?
Oh, no. I think definitely we should be able to release in the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
I think things are looking in really good shape. I don't think there's any major things we're really waiting on that are blocking.
Is that the snapshotter is the one that has most changes that
are
okay.
And the snapshotter one has the most changes, but I think those two PRs are looking in good shape, right? So we should be able to merge them this week.
Okay. Yeah, it's good. Oh, actually, there's another thing I want to. I don't know if you guys have a couple more minutes. So just going, can you go back to the thing that Humble is working on? Can you open that
the
one?
read-only?
Yeah. Yeah, so if you go to that one, and then you go to the issue that he referenced, which is there was a write-up by Saad. Yeah, probably that one that has like all the read-only flags all over the place. Yeah, right. So
yes.
Yeah, so we are actually getting some people are actually thinking there's some bugs here. Not the one that he worked on, right? This one lists a lot of things. I think it's mainly there's some confusion between the maybe the first one and this maybe the first one and the second one, or the first one. I don't. Basically, it's
So
like so basically it's like the flag, like what's the how do you say? They expect that if you specify something when you created it, then that should go all the way. When you mount it, it should still be the same, but it's actually not the case, right?
yeah, so like access mode today does not do anything with the read-only settings. The access mode today is really just a string to describe something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think maybe I was thinking that should we document this one, because right now we just have this, this issue. Actually, someone in my company actually, because I think got some basically like customers report bugs on this. So actually, he write a blog just to explain, what is the you're trying to do, what you are setting, and this is the results. He was actually saying, oh, this bug is. So I was thinking that should we at least just to start by have a document to explain like this flags, what that means, and then if you use this flag with that flag together, what will you get? I mean, what's the current status at least? I know there are things that we are trying to improve, which is the humbles. I don't know if there are other things going on. Can we have a document on this? I can actually
I think,
put in that
yeah,
together.
like
Where do we
a
use it?
section on like kubernetes.io on the storage page.
Okay.
I think having like a read-only, how to set your volume as read-only
Okay.
section
Okay.
would be very useful. This is definitely really confusing,
Yeah.
right? There's like 5 different places to set the read-only flag.
So
Um,
I don't know if there is like a way to like improve, but I don't know because those are like all already released flags, right? So probably not likely really change them, but at least
So
explain what's the
I was
expectation.
gonna say I ran into this problem like a year ago, and I dug into it to try to figure out if there was any way to make read-only less confusing
Mhm.
or less complicated, I should say. And I discovered that every single instance of read-only actually serves a unique and valuable purpose.
Okay.
And
Maybe I will ping you then. So when I'm writing this,
it might be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the document, it might be good to actually put those use cases in. Like, this is when you would want to use number 2 to set read only, and this is when you would want to use number 3 to set read only.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. It's very confusing. Even like I read this other person's blog, right? So I know, okay, this is the exactly here. It looks really weird, and then I come back to look at this again. There's actually 3 more than what he was trying to explain over there. Yeah, it's just too many things. Yeah, and the combination of them is
so just at least like at least what we have done to attempt to avoid confusion is that in our driver docs, we just tell you how to set it as read-only. Like we give an example and say, if you want to set it as read-only.
In the GC PT driver?
Yeah, in our specific driver docs, we say, this is
Mhm.
how you set things as read-only.
Oh, I think I have read that. I think I probably when I do some search, I think I see.
And we haven't, I think we haven't had any, I haven't seen any confusion from like users and stuff after we put out those examples, because then they just go copy paste the examples.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think actually in our example, I think we set like all 3 read-only flags.
Oh, okay.
I think. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, they redid the docs page and I don't know how to get to anything anymore. But yeah, I think we set like at least 2 or 3 read-only flags in our example, just to make sure all things are covered. Is it this one? It might be this one. But yeah, I think we set it here. We also set it here.
Mhm.
And then we also set it in the pod two
Oh, okay.
times. So we have it
Can
four
you
places.
put this link on the chat site? Maybe I will. I don't want to use this the same
Sure.
one that I.
So Michelle, it's worth pointing out that like when you set the access mode to read-only many, all that does is ensure that it's accessible by multiple nodes at the same time. It doesn't actually make it read-only.
Yeah, correct. That's why we, in the PV, if you set the access mode read-only many, you also have to set the read-only flag to true. And then
well,
we also set it 2 more times in the pod for good measure.
Well, no, it's just that the access mode, it sets a floor on the access. Like it must be readable on multiple nodes, but more than that is okay. But then, yeah, if you want to put a ceiling on it, you have to define it to be read-only in either the PV object or in the pod object. But like there are use cases where you want it to be read-only for the pod, but you still want it to be writable at the node level because like if you have a, I don't know, a corrupted journal, right? You can't even mount the file system unless you have write access to the file system because you got to replay the journal. Or I'm sorry,
Yeah.
like an unclean dismount requires write access to just to do the mount, even if you only want to give read-only access to the pod. Similarly, if you want to be able to resize, you need to have writable volumes. Of course, resizing a read-only volume is a weird thing to do, but like it does matter, and you have to think through those.
Yeah, I think for like in terms of like our specific driver documentation, I think we just decided like those nuances are maybe a little bit of a corner case to like it would complicate trying to explain it to most users. So we just went for the simplest approach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. We should also do that so that user will just use those examples and don't try to create their own combinations.
Well, but it's good for people that are interested in the corner case to be able to go look and see what does it actually mean when I set the access mode to read only many? What does it actually mean
definitely.
when
I think
set,
the documentation definitely will be helpful. Yeah, I will start working on that. So I'll pin you, Ben, since you actually.
Okay. Yeah, I've spent way too much time banging my head against that, and then I decided, you know what, it's fine the way it is. It's just confusing.
Yeah. And you don't have any customers complaining about this in your case?
No, I mean, read only is kind of a weird thing to do anyways. You know, it's not the most common use case. No, we don't have customers that want to get read only working better than it currently is.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. Any other topics?
I have one quick question about the blog post that's due today. How do we go about that, getting that final review published, et cetera? What's the process there?
Oh, so that's fine. There is a release team, a doc or whatever team that is actually going to publish that. So we just need to give them this draft. So you are all set. And unless if you still need to update the content, the formatting, you don't have to worry about the formatting, I think.
Okay, perfect. I think there's just one minor thing that needs to be included at the end as far as the people who are involved with helping, like we have in the other blog posts. And once that's done, we should be finished.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sure. So so I can actually give them like end of day today. Is that enough time?
That's perfect. Absolutely.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
All right, any other topics? All right, then we'll end for today. Thanks.